Conway police received a call. A stolen 2015 black Ford Mustang was being driven recklessly and at high speed. Local officers attempted a pursuit, but the suspect and the vehicle vanished into the winding curves of Interstate 40. The chase was halted, but the story wasn't over. State and neighboring agencies deployed forces across multiple counties to await the Mustang's reappearance. The suspect drove recklessly, speeding and swerving into the left lane, forcing the officers to flee and escalating the chase into winding streets. Two emergency braking maneuvers forced the officers to pull alongside the Mustang, but the suspect still refused to stop.
If he takes Seawall Road, he takes over fire, he'll take him out on the break. Revive, we get to decent straight stretch, right? It looks like he's gonna try and do it. Take his feet back up. If he takes Seawall Road, there's a one-lane bridge going down. Okay, now I'm trying to get across the road. They're coming to you. If you can get up to that intersection, you'll be right in front of them.
As the chase dragged on, weaknesses began to emerge. The suspect gradually lost his composure and control, his reckless actions becoming increasingly desperate, while the police officer patiently tightened the noose step by step, turning the tide in favor of law enforcement.
Shut down the whole road. Without this stop sign, he is. He's surrounded, he's off in the ditch. We got him here on 326.
When the suspect finally lost control and was apprehended, the question was simple. Was it all worth it? His answer was chilling. He said he was going to jail anyway, so he thought it was better to keep going because he'd never have another chance to drive. A reckless chase, a stolen Mustang, and a stark reminder of how far some people will run, even when the outcome is already decided. What do you think? On December 15th, 2023 inches, Audrain County, Missouri. The incident began at a convenience store in Ledonia, Missouri, where the suspect, two-year-old Dominic Bosworth, and several friends had left a bonfire to purchase more alcohol. A concerned mother learned her then 5-year-old daughter was socializing with Bosworth and tracked her daughter's location via Life 360. A Drain County deputy, Ryan Teague, responded and approached the truck. Bosworth quickly backed out of the parking spot, nearly hitting the deputy. Deputy Teague moved out of the path of the truck and began pursuit. Prior to the pursuit, 4 passengers were let out of the vehicle, including a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Shots fired! Shots fired! You shot at me! I'm good! 296 Jeff, he just swerved towards me.
10-4. 296, can you in this? You're 10 Jeff, he's been fitted. 10-4, he's been fitted.
The chase, fraught with rain and tension, was difficult, and the suspect's truck was intercepted by multiple patrol units. When officers approached the vehicle, they found the suspect unconscious with apparent injuries, which turned out to be self-inflicted. The suspect, Dominic Bosworth, 22, was transported to the University of Missouri Hospital in Columbia, where he was pronounced dead. A bullet struck Officer Gordon's patrol car during the chase, but fortunately, the officer was not injured. On the 9th of April, 2024, at approximately 1:30 p.m., a Clayton County deputy sheriff received a search warrant from the Clayton County Media Center regarding a Dodge Durango used by a suspect following an aggravated assault, a shooting, which escalated into a murder in Atlanta, Georgia, and who had fled the scene. The deputy sheriff was in the area of Forest Parkway and Highway 42 when he heard over the radio that an officer from the Forest Park Police Department had observed the vehicle leaving a Quick Trip gas station on Forest Parkway. Forest Park police attempted to intercept the vehicle, but the suspect did not stop. The deputy sheriff observed the suspect turn right onto Highway 42 heading north. He drove his patrol car right behind the Durango, flashing his lights and siren, and the pursuit began.
We're going to be going about 100 miles per hour northbound on Highway 42. Stand by for the cross street. He's opposite side of the road. He's going to be northbound in the southbound lanes of travel.
This is when things get extremely dangerous. Speeds over 100 miles per hour and a deranged suspect swerving wildly down the road, disregarding everyone and human lives. The black hole at this speed is extremely dangerous. But the suspect drove as if nothing was wrong. However, that decision wasn't easy. Let's see how our officers handled this situation.
Copy that. Highway 42 northbound, speeds about 90 miles per hour, passing Club Blaze. He's going to be going on the opposite lane of travel again. Correction, he's staying on the correct lane of travel. On the lane number 3, speeds about 90. Opposite side of traffic right now, going northbound in the southbound lane. Grant. Coming into a work zone currently. Right lane. Radio, we got a GSP unit out with us currently.
The deputy had a hard time approaching the suspect, and the Georgia State Police also joined the pursuit. and we all know how they would catch the suspect. With their involvement, the job would be much easier and more successful.
Approaching Brownsville Road. Copy that. Forty-one. Hands! I'm over six. Hey, come on, hey! Put your hands up! Driver, hands! Put your hands up! Yeah! I got.
The suspect's reckless driving caused him to crash into a ditch, and when units approached the vehicle, they discovered he had disappeared. They found him shortly afterward, just meters from the car. He was unconscious and quickly taken to a local hospital where he died from his severe injuries. On the 30th of October, 2025, at approximately 4:15 p.m., the scene begins with police officers ordering a man to put down the axe he's holding. They repeatedly claim they don't want to touch him and only want to talk, but emphasize that he's being held in custody and is not allowed to leave. The police tried to persuade the man to stop for dialogue and warned that they would have to use force if he continued to walk away.
Stop walking.
Put down the axe. You are not free to leave. Put down the axe. Put down the axe. Dude, we could just tackle him.
Nobody's gonna touch you. We won't touch you, but you still gotta stop so we can talk to you. Perfect. Just stay right there. That's all we just want to talk. Stay right there and we'll talk with you. We're not a serpent, but we need to talk with you, okay? Listen, if you don't stop walking, we're gonna have to use force against you. We don't want to use force against you. You understand?
Get on the ground now! Less lethal!
40 out.
Stop. Now. Hey, he has a gun. Hey.
SPD officers arrived at the scene and attempted to speak with the man. During the interaction, the SPD used non-lethal weapons against the man. At some point, the man pulled out a gun. Multiple SPD officers then fired at the man. SPD officers and Seattle Fire Department personnel quickly administered first aid to the man. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. The King County Medical Examiner's Office identified the man as Jack Palelli, 46 years old. The cause of death was recorded as multiple gunshot wounds. Flagler County, Florida, on the 15th of March, 2026, around 10:10 a.m., deputies responded to the Circle K gas station on Palm Coast Parkway Southwest to investigate a domestic disturbance. Prior to deputies' arrival, an employee at the gas station called the Flagler County Emergency Communications Center to report that a woman with multiple cuts, bruises, and a black eye had walked into the store and requested they call 911 for her.
Southbound notified. Tell me to the police station.
Copy.
Disregard that. FHP is 97, okay?
Wow, far back to HB.
We're past the 265. FHP pit.
the highway, the vehicle was traveling at speeds exceeding 120 miles per hour. As the vehicle sped into Volusia County, the Florida Highway Patrol Florida responded and took over as the primary arrest unit, with officers from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office following as the second and third units. During the arrest, the lead FHP vehicle used precision disabling technique, commonly known as PIT maneuver, multiple times on Hill's vehicle.
Get out the car, hands up!
Hands up,
Get out the car, hands up! Hands up! Put your hands on your head! Start walking back towards us!
Following the successful maneuver, the vehicle stopped at Tomoka Farms Road and Pioneer Road in New Smyrna Beach. Officers arrested Hill on charges of domestic assault, unlawful imprisonment, fleeing the scene of an accident causing property damage, and fleeing or attempting to evade law enforcement without regard to the safety of persons or property. In addition to the FCSO charges, numerous other charges were filed by the FHP and the Seminole County Sheriff's Office, who responded to investigate the aggravated domestic violence incident that occurred within their jurisdiction. Hill was transferred to Volusia County Branch Jail, where he is being held without bail. Hill has a long criminal record and is currently on conditional release. He served 2 years in state jail after being convicted in Volusia County in 2018 on charges of first-degree intentional homicide. The 3rd of February 2025. What began as a routine traffic stop for speeding on Interstate 40 turned into a high-speed, risky chase. Behind the wheel of an orange and black Dodge Charger, Brandon Williams wasn't just speeding. He had something to hide. But as the traffic officer approached, the stop became a pursuit.
Trooper Evans, Arkansas State Police, I'm out with you for your speed. Got you at 83 miles per hour when you're coming at me. Have your license, registration, proof of insurance? Okay. How much marijuana do you have in the vehicle? Okay. You have any firearms inside the vehicle? Go ahead and turn your car off for me. Step back here to my car.
As the suspect began to accelerate and flee, the officer sped toward his patrol car, calling for backup as his lights flashed. Other units began to converge and chaos erupted on Interstate 40. Even with the suspect and the officer traveling at speeds exceeding 140 miles per hour, the officer kept a close watch on their every move, closing the gap little by little before lunging forward and executing a evasive maneuver.
You're gonna get shot! Do you understand?
Evans pinned him from behind, and in seconds, the criminal was completely immobilized and handcuffed immediately. Inside the suspect's bag were 90 grams of marijuana, along with another amount in his pants pocket and an electronic scale in the car. Williams was bleeding, frustrated, and facing a long list of charges. His high-speed gamble cost him more than just the car. It ended with 2 damaged patrol cars, an injured suspect, and a very short trip from the highway, and they didn't think jail was their home. On the 25th of June, 2025, a Florida Highway Patrol officer on duty in Miami-Dade County in coordination with the Department of Homeland Security, spotted a gray Toyota SUV. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was attempting to fasten it across his chest, just as the officer observed. The Toyota stopped, and then the chase began.
Take it up! Pick it up!
But as the officer approached the vehicle, the driver accelerated and began to flee. The officer notified the regional communications center that he had gotten into his car and was in pursuit. The fleeing vehicle continued eastward. The suspect drove erratically, changing lanes frequently despite other traffic, and refused to stop. The officer, however, remained close behind, waiting for the opportune moment to intervene.
That was RT. Somebody's chasing from the north. Somebody from the north is chasing into the south. I'll go 23. Yeah,
Pit.
Vehicle fit. Go ahead with the vehicle description, 1043. Mommy, north and 102, the transfer, you mommy.
Pit.
The driver, identified as Nelson Jose Gomez Leon, didn't stop. He escaped through the driver's side window, jumped over a concrete barrier, and began running on foot. Did Nelson Jose Gomez Leon think he could get away? But after a short chase, Leon was apprehended. Leon was taken to the emergency center at HCA Florida Doral Hospital and underwent a medical examination before being transferred to Turner Guilford Night Detention Center. On May 2nd, 2023, it was a normal morning on Interstate 40 until the dispatch center announced a red SUV speeding west at nearly 120 miles per hour. And here's the question: why do these speeding drivers always treat the shoulder as if it were their own lane to drive at high speeds? Because as soon as the officer spotted the red SUV, it sped past other vehicles on the shoulder as if there were no traffic laws in our country, and the police began a pursuit.
Pass them on shoulder. Am I able to pit at this speed? I got a spot right here.
Yeah.
Said 10-4?
4.
He cut me off. I wasn't able to get it just then. It's going to be Tennessee tags 4-5. Might take the exit, stand by. No, we're going to stay 40 west.
Stand 40 west.
Come on down, let me get it. Too much traffic. Couldn't pit him right there, we had traffic.
The suspect sped away at a terrifying speed, so fast that his figure was just a blurry blur before their eyes. Identifying him at that moment was like trying to read a license plate in a raging whirlwind. Every detail was swept away in the frantic movement, leaving behind only a feeling of helplessness and suffocating tension. The officer decided that was enough, and this chase would end the moment he had the chance.
Pit, roll over, stand by. We're stopped here at JFK.
Hands, driver!
The driver, Tigo Caldero, wasn't simply fleeing, he was a deported criminal. He was wanted, and somehow he thought that escaping half the state of Arkansas was a good plan and a way to get away with it. Instead, he brought trouble upon himself with aggravated assault, fleeing the scene of a crime, driving under the influence of drugs, and now, with a new ICE warrant awaiting him, jail time is just around the corner. On the 16th of June 2025, an officer spotted a gray Honda Civic with expired license plates. When the officer attempted to stop the vehicle, the driver sped away through busy intersections and the officer activated his hazard lights to pursue. The chase spanned several major roads, with the offending vehicle constantly swerving and driving against traffic to evade the police. Cameras captured footage of the car speeding dangerously and endangering other vehicles on the road.
Eastbound at 94 calling we're testing the hallway, we're not working out.
Finally, at an intersection, the Honda collided violently with another vehicle, causing it to flip over several times before coming to a stop. Following the accident, officers quickly approached the scene with guns in hand to subdue and arrest the individuals inside the vehicle. This video demonstrates the dangers of car chases and the swift response of local law enforcement. Watch and drive safely.